One, two, three. We want to welcome everybody today to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are Mom and Dad. We have Mom and Dad and Hantie. But more importantly, everybody, we have a very special guest, Anthony Hackett. I've been trying to get this dude on here for 3 years. I am so happy to have him on here. He's a director, producer. He does acting. And, you know, he's done some wonderful stuff. Been watching him for a long time here. And the thing about it, he's a Christian, folks. He's a straight up Christian. And, you know, Anthony, you know, let's talk about, first of all, how did you get into directing into movies? How did you do that? I mean, where did that come from?
Before I get into that, brother, I gotta say thank you for allowing me to hang with you guys. And I appreciate this, a family affair. This is dope. I feel like I'm part of the family. I'm the one, I'm in the box up here, but I feel like I'm in the whole square, you know? Right. So I appreciate you. Thanks for welcoming me on. How did I get started? Is that your question?
Yes, sir.
Man, so first of all, I always tell people that my education is ministry. My calling is my education is ministry. Mm-hmm. My calling is ministry, and my talent and experience is entertainment. And so I went to school for religion. I went to, at the time, Columbia Union College, now Washington Adventist University, majoring in religion with emphasis on metropolitan ministries. And, you know, I was very heavily involved in the church, first and foremost, as a youth pastor, intern youth pastor, served out here in the D.C. area at First Church. Under Pastor Mark McCleary for a little while, as well as served intern as almost like a youth pastor, but I focused more on like the children's story stuff with Pastor Paul Graham when he was starting Restoration Praise Center. And just I have a lot of good mentors. One of my favorite professors is Pastor Henry Wright. In college, and he taught me so much. One of the most prolific men in our faith, and I appreciate everything I learned from him. So my foundation is God. My foundation is the Bible. My foundation is ministry. But then I have my talent, and my talent, God gave me this talent of entertainment, this talent of acting, of comedy, of filmmaking, of directing, etc. Now, honestly, you know, originally growing up, there wasn't really a home for my talent in the church. Mm-hmm. And that was the struggle, the beginning struggle of my journey, is trying to find out, God, why, like you gave me this, what you want me to do with it? The church don't want me to use it, so what am I supposed to do with it? And when I say the church, I'm referring to be more specific, it's not a general term, but it's a term used to define the doors that were that closed on me because of the gifts that I have with entertainment. So at the time, it was not a very welcomed maybe career or ministry. However, that has changed over time.
Yes.
But I was one of the people who kind of went through that journey with the church to help the church see that, you know, entertainment is a very, very important part of ministry, as much as any other part, music, preaching, feeding the homeless, everything. Entertainment is also a piece of that as well. And so that's where it all started from, man, just ministry, religion, God, and then growing into my talents and mildness.
And you know what's real funny is that we know Pastor McCleary, we know Paul Graham. All these are my best friends here. You know, yeah. He went to a seminary over there, and he's a good friend of mine, Philadelphia there. And of course, I know Paul Graham from school. That's one of my homies. And of course,
I was at Oakwood with Wright, that Henry Wright.
Yes. Oh wow!
Yeah. You named a lot of people close to us.
He was a senior when I was a freshman.
Okay. Well, you hold those stories because I don't know what went on back then, so we'll leave Pastor Wright alone. But that's cool.
So you know, you got into doing movies, right? So what was it like being a Christian, doing movies in a business that really kind of shuns Christianity? I mean, how did you crack into it? What was your journey like getting into it? And what would you recommend people if they're trying to do that?
Got you. So real quick. So I don't know what the time the time kind of situation on here, but are we cool to blow past that time? Are we stuck on a
look, we can go. We just gonna go.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just saying I got some stuff to share, brother. I don't know if y'all ready. It actually started with acting. So before I got into filmmaking, my journey was acting. So I went into acting first, and acting is my passion. You know, I love to act, and as I began my acting journey, which was right around college time, there was a lot of opportunities that came my way that, as a Christian, as a man of God, I could not take. And for example, I'll give you an example. So I went on this audition for a commercial. It was a really good commercial. I mean, brother, sister Hunt, I'm not lying. It was a great commercial. And I was like, okay, so I went for the audition. When I went in, they liked me. I was like, all right, cool. So they was like, Anthony, you're great. So we're going to be filming this Saturday at 3 p.m. Would you be able to come through? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, no. I said, God, why you do this to me? So I was like, listen, I appreciate the opportunity. However, unfortunately, because of my faith, I don't work on Saturdays at all. So I wouldn't be able to do it. He said, are you sure? This is a great opportunity. Are you sure? And I said, yes, I'm very sure. But thank you. I really appreciate you. And so I went home, and as I went home, I was praying. I was like, God, why did you do that? Like, I wanted this commercial. I got the commercial. It was a big opportunity, and then you just snatch it from me. Why? And it hurts, and it hurt. And literally the same day when I got home after the audition, I got a phone call back from those same producers. And those producers said, listen, Anthony, we really loved you so much. We actually are willing to move the shoot to Sunday. And we'll ask the crew to every day through. If you're free on Sunday, would you be able to take this role? And I said, yeah, I'm free on Sunday. So I got the gig, and that was a defining moment for me, because that was early in my journey, and God showed me that if you just not only stand for me, but if you stand with me, Anthony, if you stand with me, hold my hand, and I promise you, I'll take care of you. That defined that moment for me for the rest of my career, knowing that God is uno. He's not number one. He's my only one. And so as long as I keep God my only one, everything else will follow. So that was a defining moment, and then and that defined the rest of my journey with acting, going into filmmaking. To answer your question on those kind of navigating this acting and filmmaking as a Christian, there's a lot. As an encouraging word, there are opportunities that my faith won't allow me to take. However, there's actually a lot of opportunities that my faith does allow me to take.
Come on.
And so because of that, some people have this misconception that there's so many, like, you're going to work on the Sabbath all the time and stuff. You got that was literally like one of maybe 5 times over 10 plus years that I've ever had to say no to a job because it's on Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we typically are working Monday through Friday. Actors typically work Monday through Friday. They don't even work weekends. Filmmaking is typically a Monday through Friday type of a thing, unless you're kind of independent and you kind of work on the weekends, but that's a separate thing. So my faith has been my stronghold, and God has been pushing me through the whole way.
Amen.
I mean, and that's wonderful. And you know what? Like I said, we're gonna fast forward a little bit, folk, here, because like I said, we're gonna bring Hackett back. Because God has rewarded you of your faithfulness. Okay. I saw some of your films out there, great films. If you get a chance to see them, support my man, watch them. But God has given you opportunity to do a Christmas film to be shown in theaters. Okay. And let me tell you, folks, I want you to go out there and support my man. Okay. Because number one, it's quality. Number 2, he's a child of God. But actually, number 1, because he's a child of God. But I'm just trying to say, for those people, whatever you're out there, I know I got people who watch us. you need to watch this because I've seen the stuff that you put out there. It's great, and what you do on set. Can you talk a little bit about this movie that's coming out in December, sir?
Absolutely. So, and you can actually check all of our films out on sunsetfriday.com, but it's spelled Sonset, like the Son of God. Sonset, sunsetfriday.com. But the movie, Todd, is called The Perfect Christmas. It is a family Christmas comedy. It is an all-out riot. It's fun. It has a very great message intertwined into the film, just reminding people of why we celebrate, the true essence of why we should celebrate Christmas, in remembrance of Jesus and celebrating his birth, and reminding people that, this is a celebration. This is like you're going to see in the film. But beyond that, it's about family. I don't know if you guys ever realize Christmas movies today, a lot of them are romantically based. Yep. A lot of them now have a romantic storyline, like, oh, I need a man for Christmas, or they fall in love on Christmas, But if you think about it, Todd, mm-hmm. all of the Christmas movies that we consider classics mm-hmm. are family based. Think of Home Alone.
Yeah.
Think of A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
Think of Miracle on 34th Street. Think of This Christmas. All of these are family Christmas movies.
Yes.
And I figure, if we want to create something that's going to be a classic, it has to, the root of it, besides God, has to be family. And so we create a family movie. It's fun for all ages, literally 0 to infinity. And it's really, really good. So we're in theaters December 8th, nationwide. And it's an awesome blessing, coming from where we came from. And the last thing I want to note is this. This is really, really rare. And this is why I encourage people, if you can, support us by going to the theaters on December 8th, 9th, or 10th, because it's so rare that I researched it. Mm-hmm. I found out that only 8% mm-hmm. of independent filmmakers go on to get a nationwide theatrical release.
Yes.
Only 8%. But check it out, it gets even crazier. Of that 8%, mm-hmm. just 8%, 0.08% are from African American directors.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I have less than a 0.08% chance of this happening. And this is why I know it's God. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a plenty of great filmmakers. There's plenty of great movies. Mm-hmm. So there's literally no difference between me and them, other than God said, this is your time.
All right.
Favor of God. And so I give all glory to him for it. And I encourage you guys to check it out. December 8th in theaters nationwide.
And folk, like I said, very rarely do you get to see something that you don't have to have your children cringe.
Mm.
That's the reason why I have Christian comedians on here, and we support them, because, the sad thing about it is today, there's so much mess out there. Kids are exposed to so much mess, and you can't avoid the mess now. And what you're doing is something wholesome, something quality, Christian based.
Mm-hmm.
And folk, like I said, that's a rarity. And, hey, we're both African Americans here. I support you, bro, because that's such a very small gap. And when, like I said, we need to all go out there and support you, like I said, for a lot of the things that you just brought out. But before we end here tonight, Mom, Dad, Hantie, do you have any questions for our man, Anthony Hackett? Yes, Mom. Yes, go ahead.
So did you have to go to act? You went to acting school to get your role to going started? Did you?
Good question. So actually, no, ma'am. I went to school for religion only. I only went there for religion. However, I did obviously take some acting classes, and sure. I went through the whole acting journey, but I never went through any official acting or even a filmmaking school at all. Everything is, I guess, self-taught, school of YouTube, all of these different ways of learning these days. That's a beautiful thing too. A note for up and coming filmmakers and actors and anybody in any field.
What prompted you to go to that direction of acting?
For acting?
Yeah, what prompted you to go into that field?
It was in me.
Okay.
It was in me. I don't even know if I went after it as much as God put it in me to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, I feel, and that's a scary thing because growing up, a lot of young people had talents around me growing up, and it was in them, whether it's music and acting and etc. And anytime they came across resistance from the church, it hurt them a lot because they didn't know what to do with their talent anymore. It wasn't like they chose it.
Mm-hmm.
It was in them. And so because if there's talent is in them and the church that they love is telling them it can't, they have a problem with it,
Mm-hmm.
then they don't know what to do with it other than take it to who will accept it.
Okay.
And who will accept it. And that's some of the experiences that I know some of the people that I've had growing up have went through. I went through it myself, but that the story doesn't end there. The story continues because God does have a place, and He always did. And I'm living proof of a man who loves the church, loves the people, and most importantly loves God. And no matter how much we go through, whether good or bad, our end goal is to make sure that we stay with God and honor Him. And so that's what it was in me, sister. The acting and all that was in me. I didn't choose it.
All right.
Hantie, do you have anything you want to say, Hantie?
I'm waiting for him to come back.
So we're gonna have you back. It's definitely, hopefully, before the Christmas push there to push everybody out there to do that, Mr. Hackett. I just want to let everybody know before we close out here. Dad, do you have anything you want to say before we close out?
I'm waiting for December 8th, is it?
Hey,
and like
yes,
like I said, folks, very rarely do you get a chance to experience something like this that's Christian based. And we want to support Anthony and what you're doing, because I know, spreading the message comes in multiple ways. And I think our message tonight is God's giving you a gift. Pray to God to help you find your gift, to make room for you. Don't let anybody tell you how to use that gift. You let God decide how that gift should be used. And you get a closer relation. Because, before we leave tonight, I could obviously see that you got closer to God while you were using your gift and staying true to Him and His ways.
Yes.
Amen.
And, and that's a journey in itself, and so, like I said, tonight, everyone, or excuse me, tomorrow, whatever, today, everybody, I'm sorry, this is gonna be during the day. I'm just so happy to have you on tonight, Mr. Hackett. But folks, we want to leave you with this: whatever God has for you in your gift, don't let anybody define it. Only let God decide it. So tonight, I hope you enjoy that. That's what we're going to leave tonight, and we're going to bring Mr. Hackett on again. Till next time, we'll see you on Mom and Dad Talks.
All right.
Hey.